Hello and welcome to the Film Pulse Podcast. This is episode number 217. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, we got Kevin Rakestraw. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm in the midst of apartment hunting, and it's a headache.
Nice.
It's a headache, but gotta get it done. Gotta do it. This week on the show, got two indies on the docket with Anna Biller's The Love Witch and Kevin Chenault's Lattie. We'll also be talking about some of what we've been watching on the watch list, movie predictions, new on video on demand, Blu-ray releases. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Got some news lined up. First, this is kind of breaking. This just came out earlier today, just a couple hours ago actually. Actor Anton Yelchin has passed away.
Yeah.
This was kind of shocking. So apparently he was leaving his home, and I guess he got out of his car. He was going to a rehearsal, got out of his car, and I guess he didn't put it in park, and it hit him, and it crushed him in between a security fence or a wall and the car. And unfortunately, it killed him.
Jesus.
He was 27.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Terribly sad. I really liked him. I really liked. I can't remember what the first movie I saw him in was. I could probably look up his filmography and figure it out. But
let's look at his filmography.
I
think I've seen him. He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's in a whole lot of stuff. I liked him. I mean, he's in the Star Trek movies,
which he was fantastic in.
Yep. I liked him a lot in the Fright Night remake, the one with Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
He was great in that. Green Room is what I saw him in most recently, and he's fantastic in Green Room.
I most recently saw him in a short film called Kiss Kiss Finger Bang.
Oh.
Which he was good in that too. That short it's ridiculous because it's him and Caitlin Sheil, and Caitlin Sheil, when she's being finger banged, she'll do anything. So it's just him finger banging her all the time and making her do terrible things.
Okay. Interesting.
Only Lovers Left Alive, he was good in that too.
I mean, I think his breakout role would be Alpha Dog. He was that I didn't like that movie really, but I think that was probably the first big one that he was in. He was in a lot of TV shows before that and a few movies here and there. He was in that Charlie Bartlett movie.
Yeah.
He was in The Beaver. He was in Like Crazy. Like Crazy was okay. I thought that was okay. It was a love story. Pretty decent love story. He was in Terminator Salvation. Didn't like the movie, but I liked him in it as Kyle Reese. Young Kyle Reese.
That's crazy. 27.
Yep, absolutely terrible.
For that way too? Like a freak accident?
Yeah. Yep. Terrible news. And you'll be able to see him next in the new Star Trek movie. He'll be in Star Trek Beyond, which it's always, when actors pass away like that, it's always kind of sad because it almost gives the movie, like their next movie that gets released after their passing, it almost gives it like a kind of a new look to it. You know, you look at it in a different way. Because I know if I go see that movie, every time he's on screen, I'm just going to be thinking about how sad it is that he died unexpectedly.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace, Anton Yelchin. I'll probably go back and watch some of his stuff this week. Damien Chazelle's La La Land is going to be open the Venice Film Festival this year. Have you heard anything about this movie? Are you interested in it?
I have not heard about this movie.
So it's a musical.
Okay, no thanks.
And it's kind of paying homage to the golden age of the musical. And it's starring Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. And J.K. Simmons is in it. Finn Wittrock's in it. Rosemary DeWitt. John Legend is in it.
Yeah. All right.
And Ryan Gosling plays a jazz pianist who falls in love with an inspiring actress who's played by Emma Stone.
Yeah.
I'm into it. You know, I don't like musicals typically, but I think that Damien Chazelle will bring an interesting spin to it.
I think he did that before. I think his first film was a musical.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a jazz trumpeter.
Oh yeah, was it a feature or was it a short?
I think it was a feature.
Oh,
Got
okay.
Madeline on a park bench. There's a Guy. I never know if it's Guy or Guy.
I don't know either.
There's some way to tell. I wish
if
there
you're
was
not
some sort of identifier.
if you're not familiar, Damien Chazelle, he did Whiplash. He did the short film, and then he did the feature Whiplash, which I was a big fan of. Kevin, if I remember correctly, you were not a huge fan of that one.
I was not a huge fan, but I did like it.
And he also wrote that. What was the one with Elijah Wood, where he was the pianist?
Oh yeah.
I can't. It was called like Grand Piano or something.
Yeah, Grand Piano.
I liked that one a lot. It was a nice little thriller. It was a fun one.
And he wrote 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Oh yeah, yes they did.
What?
Yep.
What?
So I'll be interested to see La La Land. It does have a release date here in the States already. Lionsgate's going to be releasing it on December 2nd in limited release, and then it's going to open nationwide December 16th. So keep an eye out for that one. Again, it's called La La Land. Criterion has announced their September releases. It's been a kind of a slow news week, honestly. Not a lot coming out here.
I was like, what did Criterion do? I was like,
it's just their September lineup. So we got a number of interesting releases here. Probably most interestingly, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, and then also the original Valley of the Dolls are getting Criterion releases.
Yeah,
that's it's kind of cool. Cat People, the Jacques Tourneur Decalogue.
Oh boy,
the masterpiece.
Kidding that sucker. Lord have mercy.
I think I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna try to get through it.
You gonna do the Decalogue?
I think so. I'm gonna attempt. Gonna make an attempt. There's a 9-disc Zatoichi collection coming out.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Coen Brothers' Blood Simple, Kenji Mizoguchi's The Story of the Last Chrysanthemum, and Carol Reed's Night Train to Munich. So keep a lookout for those. We'll probably have reviews up for at least a few of those in the coming months. Trailers.
Uh-oh.
I, Daniel Blake, which is the new Ken Loach movie.
Uh-huh.
Have you any interest in this one?
Not really.
I checked out the trailer. It looks kind of interesting.
Not selling me on it.
It's about a guy who, I mean, can you really, by describing his movies, can you really sell those movies? I mean, with his movies, you gotta kind of at least see a trailer. Just me describing it will never sell it. Like, can you imagine trying to describe somebody The Wind That Shakes the Barley and be like, yeah, that sounds like it's right up my alley.
Correct.
I just don't think it's possible. I think you have to actually see a trailer here, read a review or something. But either way, this one looks pretty interesting. I'm into it. I'll be checking that out. Denial came out. This one with Rachel Weisz.
Yeah.
It's the one about it's the true story of this woman who she kind of came out against this really famous Holocaust denier, and he ended up suing her, and the kind of legal battle that ensued. So I think that could be interesting. It's directed by Mick Jackson.
Yeah.
It's the guy that
Timothy Spall in there.
Yeah, Timothy Spall. He's one of he plays the Holocaust denier, and Rachel Weisz plays her name's Deborah E. Lipstadt.
Yeah.
Mick Johnson is the guy who directed The Bodyguard and L.A. Story, which reminds me, I'm going to rewatch L.A. Story. It's been years since I've seen that movie, and I remember loving it when I was younger. With Steve Martin.
Mm-hmm.
I want to rewatch that.
It's been ages since I saw that, too.
Yeah. Let's see, what else have we got here? 31, this is the new Rob Zombie film. Looks bad. Heard it was very bad.
Yeah.
It's like, I've said it before on the show, I want to like Rob Zombie, but he's making it difficult. I wish he would have made, maybe it's still happening, but he was going to be making a hockey movie, and I would have loved to have seen him make a hockey movie.
Oh, that would be great.
But I don't know. I'm still hoping that Goon 2 comes out this year. I think it is. I think it's supposed to. Outlaws and Angels. This is a Western with Luke Wilson and Chad Michael Murray. I don't know what to think about this.
What's it called?
Outlaws and Angels.
Outlaws and Angels.
It looks like it's going to be pretty bad, but it could be fun. I feel like there's going to be a lot of movies like this that are going to be coming out since we're having this bit of a Western resurgence.
Yep.
But this might be the first nail in the coffin for the resurgence of the Western. I don't know.
Let's start winding it down here.
We're gonna wind it down a little bit. All Eyes on Me. This is the Tupac biopic that's finally coming out. The guy that they get to play Tupac in this is just a teaser trailer that came out, but holy crap, he looks and talks exactly like Tupac. It's pretty incredible. I don't know what to think about this one. Since it's just a teaser, it's kind of hard to read exactly what it's going to be like. It's probably not going to be good because it's a biopic and they rarely are.
Yeah, correct.
Jack Reacher, Never Back Down. Never Go Back. Never Back Down. Pretty much the same thing.
Never Go Back.
This was a teaser also. I really liked the first Jack Reacher. I was really surprised at how much I liked the first Jack Reacher, so naturally I am pretty excited about this one. Say what you will about Tom Cruise, but he makes some good movies. And Kevin, I think that if you saw Jack Reacher, the first one, you would like it.
I do like Tom Cruise action movies.
And you like Werner Herzog too, and he's the bad guy in that.
Yeah. See, that's how you sell a movie. You just sold the shit out of it.
A lot of great action in the first one. Robert Duvall's in it, and he plays a sniper. I mean, it's a badass movie. So, all right, let's talk about our first movie. I was thinking we could do The Love Witch.
Okay.
Let's start with The Love Witch. So, this it's not out yet. I don't think it has an actual release date as of yet. It'll next be screening at BAM Cinema Fest, so you can check it out there. It'll be on the 24th of June. It's written and directed by Anna Biller, and we'll get into some of the other things. She wears many hats.
Oh man,
she is someone I don't throw the term around a lot, but she is someone who I would probably designate as an auteur.
Well, mostly because she handles everything.
Yeah,
she does everything.
She is a jack of all trades. I have a synopsis here. A modern-day witch uses spells and magic to get men to fall in love with her in a tribute to 1960s pulp novels and Technicolor melodramas. Now, I think the key word there is Technicolor, because this movie is drenched in color. Now, the reason I brought this up is because you texted me last night after you watched this, and we're just like, the colors in this movie.
Colors.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is
it's gorgeous.
This is a gorgeous film. That's the highlight. Like, the highlight of this movie is the visuals. And I talked about this movie before on a previous episode. So let's start with you, Kevin. What are your thoughts on The Love Witch?
Colors. Holy shit. Yeah. To me, that was the highlight right off the bat. It was just, I just got sucked in right there, that I got hooked. And overall, I quite enjoyed this one. I was kind of surprised, honestly, a lot of the places that this movie went. And it was interesting because I was like, from the outset, and I really didn't know too much about this, except from what you told me a little bit in that one podcast that you talked about it. But me trying to pin down what this movie was exactly and being like essentially wrong like every 5 minutes. Like, I'd try and get like a handle on it, and I think I have it pinned down, and then I would find out that I was completely wrong, and it's not at all what I thought it was going to be, which was, I always find enjoyable. And oh my goodness, everything that just goes into this, the set design, the costume design, like, it's so impressive.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's really the thing to talk about with this movie, because as far as the plot, the performances, all of that stuff, it's not anything special, in my opinion.
No, well, the thing that I enjoyed the most is I love the way in which she deals with a very complicated theme and viewpoints and stuff, and the way that she's able to work all of them in and have it layered like that, but also, like, on just the surface, you can just sit there and just be entertained and just be like a straightforward movie. But then there is stuff underneath of it, which is quite nice.
Well, it's kind of harkening back to the more like the uprising of the feminist movement in cinema in the 60s. Like there were a lot of movies like this back then that started coming out, and I think that it so accurately nails that as like that narrative. And the thing that really drives it home is just every single aspect of not just the visuals. I mean, mostly the visuals, because that's the most striking feature, but also like the music and the audio cues, and not just the look of the visuals, but the actual cinematography, like what she does with like how she likes to focus on eyes, and like she really pulls it in with the eyes, and the camera techniques that she uses. It's just like, holy shit. I mean, if you just showed this to someone, they would think that this is a movie from that era.
Yeah, which in the very first time, because I kind of forgot that you told me about how it takes place.
The modern stuff.
Yeah. So when that first scene shows up, where she pulls up in the BMW, that cutback, I was just like, wait, what? Wait a second.
Again, that was one of my biggest kind of criticisms when I mentioned this on the other episode, was that it does take place in modern times. So there are just such slight hints that this is a modern film. The cars being one of them. But it's funny too, because a lot of the cars they use are old cars.
Yeah.
And
up until that point, I was like, oh, holy shit. I mean, they nailed this.
Yeah. I mean,
this is ridiculous.
And then later on, there's a scene where a cell phone is being used, and that kind of pulls you out of it too. So again, I don't know why
I don't know. To me, it just kind of, I thought it was kind of funny.
I guess.
Just be like, oh yeah, that's right. This isn't the 70s.
But there's almost nothing that indicates that. You would think that there'd be like a computer somewhere, like an email.
Well, especially
going back and forth between some of these characters.
The police station. Yeah.
Yeah.
There should be computers everywhere.
And all of the clothes, like not just the main character.
Like
when by who's the
Samantha Robinson?
Samantha Robinson, sorry. So it's not just her that's kind of wearing the 60s style costumes. It's everybody.
Well, it is. I found that kind of funny when that initial scene where the BMW pulls up and the Trish character gets out and she's straight. I mean, just like straight 70s clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love all of the scenes in the tea room. Just the look of that place it's so ridiculous.
It truly is. Tea rooms.
And the kind of burlesque club that they frequent, that the witches frequent.
It's just and that was I think the first thing that threw me for a loop is I was thinking this was just going to be all out full throttle feminism. And then like the first words out of Elaine's character's mouth is just like the complete opposite. And she's the main character. And I'm just like, wait, what? The hell is this movie about?
Yeah, so that's like the interesting thing. So just going back to the plot, she plays a witch, and she's so desperate to have a man fall in love with her that she casts spells on some of the guys that she has an interest in. But the problem is the spells are clearly too powerful, and she turns these men into groveling, sniveling idiots that can't handle it and end up dying. Basically.
Wonderful.
So it is kind of an interesting take. I think that it is a pro-feminist film, but
yeah, it's just the
character,
the way in which she gets there. I mean, I was not expecting that.
And I think the ending especially kind of reinforces that theme. But it is interesting that all that she wants is a man to like take care of her and love, like just show unconditional love towards her. That she has this like need, this absolute need to have a man in her life.
Yeah.
That she can cook for and take care of.
Yeah. Doesn't work out for her.
No. It doesn't work out for any of the guys that she sets her sights on either, unfortunately.
No. The funniest one is I think Wayne.
Yes.
I was just I just laughed through that entire. That was the best.
Wayne was Wayne was just how he fell. He fell apart so quickly. Like he was
It was
cool.
yeah.
He was cool at the beginning, but then all of a sudden, man, he lost it.
Those drugs kicked in. And he just falls apart.
Yeah.
And just his line delivery. And he's just like he just loses it. And just I love the of him being in bed and you just like and the camera's on her smoking a cigarette and you just hear him wailing in the background and then the voiceover comes on and it just calls him a pussy.
I would say if you're not familiar with the work of this director, to seek out, go to Vimeo, because there's like a bunch of stuff like trailers and there's even one of her short films on there. Check out her stuff because it's she is so good at perfectly nailing that aesthetic that anybody that's a fan of that era in cinema absolutely has to check out her stuff because it's so spot on.
Yeah.
And she does everything. Going back to what she actually does, she writes and directs, and I think she does the music, she produced it, she edits it, she does all the production design, which, again, the production design in this is so good. Art direction, set direction, costume design.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere where she she made most of the costumes.
Yeah,
but she made the stuff. She made it.
And the costumes are so good too. Like especially like I mean, it's funny because in this movie she has the opportunity to just have fun with it. Like there's a lot of kind of dreamlike sequences and fantasy sequences, so she can really just do whatever she wants. And like the whole Renaissance fair thing with all the lavish medieval costumes. And you can tell that she's just running wild with it.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's quality stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Yeah, to do all of those things, but to also do them so well is. I mean, it's one thing to to wear all those hats. That's impressive in and of itself. But for the quality to be that high in all those departments at the same time, where you're not thinking, like. Not once do you think she's spreading herself too thin by doing everything.
Yes, exactly.
You're just like, holy shit, how did you do all of this?
Right, especially when you have some films where, the director or the person that's creating the film does everything and you can be like, well, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Maybe that's like I think Shane Carruth's a good example. Like he's good at everything that he does, but as far as maybe he's not the best person to be starring in his own films or editing his own films. But she just nails every aspect of what she's working on. And the same can be said for her last film, Viva, which if you were into this one, Kevin, I think you should definitely check that one out. She does everything in that one too, and she stars in it.
Okay.
And it's
Technicolor feel.
Yeah. Oh, it's very similar.
Which, I mean, to point out there too is there's just not that many people doing color like that nowadays.
No,
you know
where
what I mean? It's just like you don't see it. You just don't see that blatant like use of color. Just gleeful amounts of color is just it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that we're still kind of in this trend of a very dystopian look to movies where
everything's drained.
It's drained of color.
Yeah, and like grayscale overcast.
Yeah. So when you get a movie like this that comes in that just bombards you with so much color that it's jarring and then but also very welcome. Like we don't see movies outside of like animated films that have this much color.
Yeah, it does take you back because that was the number one thing I was thinking of while watching it. I was like, man, this really does feel like like a 70s movie, a 60s movie.
Oh yeah.
Where you were so used to like people were really into color back then.
Yeah.
And getting those colors to pop.
And they brought back the paint, the bright red blood in this too.
Oh man.
But it's It's excellent. I thought it was a little too long for me. It is 2 hours long, and I feel like it could have been tightened up a bit. And I did think that the acting was atrocious for the most part. That was pretty bad, mostly by all of the like secondary characters. But I didn't really like Samantha Robinson's performance very much. Now,
I think it fit with.
granted, that was going to be my kind of caveat to this, is that if you go back and watch some of the movies that influenced this movie, that's pretty much how it is. Like, how they acted was designed to mimic or emulate how those performances were delivered back then. So in that regard, it does fit, but I still wasn't the biggest fan.
If you're,
It was a little hard to get past some of it,
especially when you're doing it for 2 hours.
Yeah, and then like she did a lot of voiceover and stuff too that I just wasn't that into. And I mean, I thought that it overstayed its welcome a little bit, but I still thought that it was a visual marvel, and for that alone, I was hooked on it.
Yeah, there's plenty in there to kind of make up for that, especially when you just got those colors on display.
Definitely.
Take your time.
Yep.
If you're giving me colors, take your time.
So this is one I would definitely keep an eye on when it comes out. I don't know what the release situation is for this one, but I would definitely put it on your radar, put it on your watch list on Letterboxd. Take a look at the trailer, because the trailer is out.
It's one of those things too that's just, it's so, I mean, to kind of come back to the color thing, but also it's just so refreshing.
It's different
because it's so completely different than everything that you're seeing that's coming out right now, or the last couple of years, whatever. It's just completely different.
Like I said before, there are a lot of directors that try to emulate older genres, older decades of films, and some of them come close. Like I said previously, Black Dynamite is one that gets very close to the mark, but there's always something that feels off about the tone or just the vibe. But what Anna Biller does here is just it's uncanny. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Well, it doesn't really feel, I don't know, to me it didn't feel like a blatant homage type deal, or like an ironic, like, oh, look at the 70s movie, ooh. It was more of like it was just operating from that point. Like, okay, we're setting it in there, and then it feels like it's from that time. Yeah.
Right. It didn't feel like a gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
And the comedy is another thing. Like, a lot of the comedy in this movie it's intentional comedy, and I think that is one thing that sets it apart, is that it's having fun playing with the narrative and the visuals and stuff. And it's the older movies that this may be drawing influence from didn't really have that. They weren't so self-aware.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Love Witch, definitely one to keep an eye out for. Kevin, what are you going to give The Love Witch out of 10?
I'm going to give The Love Witch an 8.
I'm also going to throw out an 8 on this one. It's like between a 7.5 and an 8 for me, like a 7.75. We did those.
Yeah, like a 7.83.
Yeah, 7.83. There we go.
Nice.
We should start doing crazy numbers like that, because it's so arbitrary anyway. Like, yes. Why not just have fun with it?
I would like to change our rating system from 0 to 1.
That would be fun.
0 to 1, so everything's like 0.772.
Well, I know the B Movies podcast, they do B plus, or B minus. Like, those are the three that they do.
Cut and dry, huh?
Yeah.
Damn. Not a lot of wiggle room in there.
Nope, not. I do like that on Ryan Watches a Movie, we introduced the -1. I think he only did. I don't know if he gave it out at all, but
I'm looking forward to that day.
I'm hoping that he does give out the -1,
because it gives us something new to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about our next film. We're talking about Lattie. This is another one that I do not know what the release situation is for this. This is a very early one. This one hasn't even started screening at festivals or anything yet, to my knowledge. So we're early on in this one. This is written and directed by Kevin Chenault. I have a synopsis here. A struggling laborer is diagnosed with a terminal illness and finds himself being pulled in different directions. I guess that's good enough. This stars Kevin Chenault as well. Now this was sent to me by the producer of the film because I covered their last movie called Different Drum a while back, like a year or two ago, and I was kind of taken with it. It definitely had, to me, it had kind of a color wheel vibe to it, and I actually liked it quite a bit. So when they emailed me about this one, I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. And I gotta say, I actually liked this one as well. Maybe even I liked this one more than Different Drum. It's a shoestring budget movie, so there's not a lot going on, and it is just over an hour long. But I gotta say, I was really impressed with not just the story, but the cinematography in this one. Like, I thought it looked great for being
I thought, yeah, it looked
a shoestring budget. This was shot over the course of 2.5 weeks while the cinematographer was on vacation. So this was just like, indie to the core. And I gotta say that I really enjoyed the result of this one.
This one's tough because I for the most part agree with you. I was taken by the cinematography. Speaking of how we were just talking about downcast grayscale, that's all this is. But there's interesting use of camera movements in here that I really liked. Kept things interesting because there's not a lot going on.
No. And really, for me, the thing that was the saving grace for that was the fact that it was only just over an hour long.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Got in and got out. Really, what this movie is just a guy finds out he's dying of a terminal illness, and it's just him dealing with it. But the way in which he deals with it is the most bland, possibly realistic.
Yeah,
way.
it's mostly just like I imagine it's just him like going through things in his head.
Yeah,
but we don't hear. We just see him doing that. So it's just him sitting in like an empty
house. Yeah,
smoking
drinking and smoking.
Yeah, like that's it.
Very, very sparse dialogue, which again I think was kind of a saving grace because again performance is not great in this one.
Yeah, they're rough.
Especially the kind of secondary characters. The woman that played his sister was not very good either. But I didn't expect Oscar-worthy performances, and I thought that they were passable. Didn't bother me that much. And I gotta say, like, I liked the character of Lattie. I thought he was funny. He reminded me of like a more grown-up Napoleon Dynamite.
That has a terminal illness and is dying.
Yes. Speaking of going back to the cinematography, there were a couple shots that really impressed me. One was when he fell out of the window. Mm-hmm. Just that whole scene.
The entirety of how that played out was definitely the high point of the movie. That was just great.
I loved it. I loved how they organized that whole sequence of shots. I thought was great. And then there was just another one that I don't know, it was kind of a throwaway thing in a way, but there was a lot of like kind of static shots in this where, it's just set up, and it just lingers, a lot of lingering static shots. And one of them was his car. There's a scene where his car doesn't start, so he has to walk home, and as he's walking, he starts coughing and then just passes out. And just the way that the camera was fixed, it was kind of like a medium shot, and I guess it was maybe more of a wide shot. It was medium wide shot. The way that he just immediately, he's coughing, and then he just goes from coughing to completely unconscious. And the way that he falls, it's just, I don't know, that really made me laugh. And there was another scene where there's several attempts of him trying to leave town. He's trying to go to Texas. And the one scene when he goes to the bus station and he's waiting for the bus ticket to print out, and it's just, the camera's just fixed on the clerk at the bus station, and you just hear the dot matrix printer printing for like a minute straight. That made me laugh.
I also like the fact that at one point in time he finds some money in a phone book, like a ratty phone book, And I like that he never removes it from the phone book.
Yeah, he just keeps it in there.
He keeps it
carries it around with
he
him.
carries the phone book around with him. And I love that he turns his back anytime he has to pay for something. Because I guess he doesn't want people to see that it's in the phone book, but you can clearly tell that he's getting it out from the phone book that he's been holding the entire time.
It's also possible he doesn't want people to see how much money it was, because there's a shitload of money in there.
I know. I don't understand why you'd be carrying that around all the time.
He makes a lot of weird decisions, but you gotta think like, maybe this brain tumor or whatever's going on is affecting his judgment.
It must have took out the center of your brain that is responsible for knowing the existence of pockets, I guess, or wallets.
And then that coupled with the fact that he's probably in a relative state of shock just all the time. You know, he's just kind of going through the motions at this point. Like it seems like he's already kind of either he's accepted the fact that he's going to die, and he's just like, oh, whatever. I'm just gonna float through this until the end happens, or he's just still struggling to come to terms with it.
I think he's still trying to figure out if he's gonna fight it or if he's just gonna let it go.
Yeah. There's some interesting things that happen in this, because it seems like he almost loses his grip with reality at one point, and there's several kind of like almost dreamlike things that occur. And there's one thing that happens. It's almost for a second it almost turns into a murder mystery. And there's one scene, and I don't know if this is giving too much away. I don't think so, because it happens relatively early on. He finds a dead body, and there's a part where when he calls the police, and he has like blood all over his knuckles.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're trying to imply something happened with that, and that's how he ended up getting the money.
I don't know. That was all kind of a little sketchy. I'm not quite sure what happened in that instance of the movie. Be quite honest.
Because then after that occurs, after he finds this dead woman, these two guys just start coming after him. Then one of the guys is carrying around a bloody baseball bat with him.
Yeah.
And they're trying to, I guess, kill him? I don't know. Kill him or confront him?
Yeah, because the police accidentally told him that he was a witness or whatever.
And then there's something that occurs at the end that the end was kind of a surprise to me as well, how that played out. And I thought that was
because like something actually happened at that point in time. That was different. It's just rough, because after I watched this, my wife was like, "Oh, what did you watch? What was it about?" And I said, honestly, it's about a guy that didn't really talk much, and he smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, I do wish there was just maybe more going on with the relationship with his family. Just maybe a little bit more.
Well, yeah, because even at 66 minutes, this is like, you don't have enough for 66 minutes. Like, this is a short film at best.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is just him just sitting around smoking cigarettes.
Yep.
Falling asleep.
Pretty much.
And it's just too heavily reliant on the soundtrack. It's just too much going on.
That was another thing. Yeah,
like, just calm it down.
That was one thing that I wanted to bring up and get your thoughts on, was the soundtrack in this, because to me, a lot of the songs didn't really fit. Like, it seemed weird. Like, there were several, and there was at least one instance, and I can't remember like what specific scene. It was sort of a montage, but I imagined what the scene would have been like without music at all, and like in my head, it worked out a lot better than with the song that was playing.
Yeah, because there's even one instance where like the song ends, and it ends like in the middle of a scene, which at first is just odd. It's like, oh, that was just badly timed out, the way that this song's sitting in there. And then there's literally like just a couple of seconds, and then another song starts like in the middle, and it's just like, that was just a really poor transition. Like, I don't. Yeah, you don't have to have a song playing all the time.
Yeah, the music didn't really work for me in this. There was like maybe one song that I thought was a good use. Wasn't a huge problem for me. It just felt out of place and odd.
Yeah.
But I still think that there was enough there as far as the visuals and the little spurts of humor that made me enjoy it overall. And I'm still curious I'll still keep following this director because I think he's got some interesting things ahead of him.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I definitely like the look. I like the overall look of the film. It's just it just didn't. There wasn't really anything there for me. Just nothing there.
Got to find a good story to tell.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of the problem I had with Different Drum, is that it was pretty much the same thing, whereas lots of good visuals and some interesting kind of comedic sequences. Like there's a scene where there's a scene where she's the lead actress is walking down the street and she gets hit in the face with a branch, she walks into a branch, and for the rest of the movie she has an eye patch on. That was funny. All right, let's give this movie a score. I'm gonna give Lattie a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5.
That's a 5 out of 10. This one again, I'm not sure exactly what the release date is for this, but I'm sure that we will have it posted up on the site once it becomes available. Let's move on and talk about someone we've been watching in the watch list. I think that I will start it off this week. Not a lot.
Get it.
Didn't have a lot going on this week.
Uh-oh.
I saw the new season of Orange is the New Black.
Oh boy.
Started up, so I've been tearing through that.
Got hooked on that, huh?
A little bit, yeah. I've been tearing through that. Still a good show. Still a good show. I saw Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Okay.
This is the one with Tina Fey, directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa. Yeah, this one's a meh for me. I don't have a lot to say about it, honestly. It was a little tonally schizophrenic in that I'm not sure what this movie wanted to be. I don't know if it was supposed to be a comedy, if it was supposed to be a dark comedy, a dramatic comedy. I don't know if it was supposed to be a comedy at all. I don't know what this was supposed to be necessarily, because there's some funny things in it, but for the most part, it is not funny at all. It's like not even trying to be funny. I mean, Tina Fey is inherently funny.
Yeah.
She's just a funny person, so that kind of comes through. But it kind of switches back and forth between these kind of not goofball, but kind of humorous fish out of water moments.
Yeah.
It switches back and forth between, or juxtaposes them with that and the horrors of war in Afghanistan. So Tina Fey plays a news producer who ends up going to Afghanistan on assignment, and while there, she and her boyfriend break up, and she kind of becomes a thrill seeker, and she kind of becomes addicted to the danger over there, and starts going into more and more risky situations. And then eventually some terrible things do occur. And it's just about her dealing with the crossroads that she's at in her life, and, you know, coming to terms with her career and where she's at in her life and all of this stuff. And it's okay. It's just, it was entertaining enough, but it didn't really do it for me.
Yeah, because I remember even seeing the trailer, and it's like, this is just a really weird mix of things.
It is, yeah.
It's just a weird place for comedy.
It is,
or to be attempting comedy.
Because there's some really kind of not horrific, but really serious stuff that happens. Some pretty violent things that occur.
Yeah,
and it just kind of throws you for a loop when the majority of what you've seen previously is like parties and her being like getting hit on by this, you know, diplomat guy and kind of getting the hots for one of her bodyguards, and she has this kind of interesting relationship with her fixer guy, who's oddly played by Christopher Abbott.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
I'm not sure what the call was to make Christopher Abbott an Afghan gentleman, but
you couldn't find somebody.
Yeah,
come on.
And Alfred Molina played the other, like
Yes,
the
that's right
diplomat
too.
guy.
Just get the fuck out of here. That's just lazy. That's just lazy shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Like
what
you're going out of your
why
way to be an asshole. Dumbass movie. Fuck that.
that it felt weird. It really did.
Fucking
But
movies.
anyway, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. I probably won't recommend that one unless it's like a Netflix watch or something.
I didn't. I'm in the same boat as you. I didn't get to see that much. In all honesty, this week felt like it was just me trying to finish movies. Like every movie took me forever to finish. I don't know why
Nice.
that is. It's just like the last 10 minutes always takes like 3 hours for some reason, especially on Fandor and Vimeo recently. The first of which is Go Down Death, which is, I have this up on the site for, this was the latest unsung indie. Aaron Skimberg's Go Down Death. This one is, I saw this on Fandor as well. This is one of those movies that the last 10 minutes took like 2 hours to finish because it's just buffer.
Mm.
I don't know why the buffer always waits until the very fucking end. Like it doesn't do it the entire movie, and then in the last 10 minutes, it's buffer constantly. This is black and white, shot on film. It's a bizarre mix. It's essentially just like episodes, that it's cutting back and forth from, and all these different characters, and you have no idea what time period it is. You have no idea where they're at. Apparently, there's like a war going on because you just hear explosions and it's rattling the buildings and everything. Which this was apparently shot in like an abandoned factory in Brooklyn. But the amount of work that they put into making the sets and like the costumes and everything, I mean, holy shit, is it impressive. Like you have no idea that this was shot in an abandoned factory in Brooklyn. I mean, it's incredible. Everything, and there's so many different sets too. It's not just that they made like one set and they just did a really great job of making that one set. They did like a really great job of making like a shit ton of sets and a shit ton of costumes. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's very bizarre. It's absurd, and it just keeps cutting back and forth between these different cast of characters and everything. It kind of has that dream world feel to it where it's kind of operating in dream logic type thing going on. And it's extremely impressive. It's quite good. I highly recommend that one.
Okay, and that's Go Down Death, available on Fandor. Wouldn't be a show without talking about some Fandor.
Fandor.
I saw a movie called The Fake. This is from 2013. This is an animated film directed by Yoon Sang-ho. It's a Korean film. Oh, all right. This is a toughie. This is a real toughie because there is almost nothing redeemable about this film. The characters are the most horrid human beings ever. It's kind of this like cynical critique of maybe organized religion as a whole, specifically Christianity. So it's about this village that is about to be flooded because a dam is being built, and the village is about to be flooded, and this church pops up, and the church is being run by these kind of, I mean, they're basically con men, but you don't really know that. Like, you have an idea that one of them is definitely a con man, but the other one seems pretty altruistic. And this guy, the lead character, he comes home from being away for several months, and he's just a horrid person. He's not even an anti-hero. He's just a bad man, which is interesting because in a lot of Asian films, and probably a lot of foreign films in general, you have lead characters that are just evil, and you don't see that a lot in American films. They're a lot more comfortable confronting the viewer with unlikable characters and making you sit with them for extended periods of time. Like, this guy is verbally and physically abusive to his family and basically everyone around him. He's just permanently angry and hates everything and everyone.
Gotcha.
And everyone in this village is kind of buying into this church, and they think that like they're selling bottled holy water, and they're thinking that it's curing people in the village of various ailments and illnesses. And this guy's like not having any of it. He's like, it's all bullshit. You're fake as fuck, and I'm gonna call you out on it. And it turns out that this church is more of like a gang. They're more of like an organized crime like family, and they try to kill him basically. And then he comes back and he tries to kill them, and it's just a back and forth until things escalate. It does not end. It does not have a happy ending. It is a very dark, dour, horrible movie it does not make you feel good in any way. It's just, and I think for people that have a strong contempt for organized religion may appreciate it, because it really goes after how horrible religions can be and what they can do to people, like the negative effects that they can have on people, and what blind faith can do to someone. But it's a little on the nose, and it's a little bit too cynical. I mean, it goes overboard several times. The animation quality is okay. It's kind of interesting. It's not your typical anime style. The animation, I think, it's 2D, but it looks like maybe it was done with computers, like CG. I don't know how to describe it. It's the way that the characters move and like their facial expressions and things almost looks like it was rotoscoped or motion capture in a way. So it's kind of interesting. Some of it looks very ugly, but for the most part, it was pretty good. And so I don't know if I'd recommend this one or not. It's just, if you're looking to have a bad day, then maybe check out the fake. You might like it, actually. You might appreciate it.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like great.
It's pretty depressing. It's a pretty depressing movie.
It sounds like it. Very much sounds like it. I watched Lions from Yasmin Lopez. This is from 2012. And oh my God, I've been wanting to see this movie forever. I first read about it in Film Comment, and I've just been waiting patiently in my house for this movie to come out in some way, shape, or form so I could see it. And it finally fucking did.
Nice.
Came out on the old Festival Scope, the free version of the Festival Scope. So I was fucking jacked. I was so ready to get into this, and it definitely did not disappoint. Wow. The cinematography in this is incredible. Essentially, it's five. I want to say like young 20-somethings, maybe, around that age, and they're just kind of like walking through the woods. Really, they're just trying to find the water, and they're trying to find this like house they're supposed to be staying at. And it's just them wandering around, and they play these like little word games and stuff, and it's just them discussing things and trying to find their way. And the one character has like a Walkman that has like a voice, like a recording of them driving on the way to where they were supposed to be going. So he's listening to the tape, trying to figure out what happened, how did they get there, and that type of thing. And then, like halfway towards the film, there's kind of like a reveal as to what's going on here. And so as simple as it is, just, people just walking around the woods. The camera work really adds a lot to this and just makes up for a lot of what the film's lacking. It's essentially like the camera almost plays like the sixth individual walking with them. It's just these long single takes where the camera's just kind of moving through the woods with them. It'll kind of stop, and the characters will trail off, and then, they might pop up from a different angle within the same scene a little bit later. There's so many things going on with the camera. It's pretty great. So I definitely look forward to more from Yasmin Lopez, which I had to look up now to see, because 2012's, that's a considerable amount of time that's passed here, and I want to know where that other film is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing on here. That's it. What's going on? I need more.
No, maybe
I highly recommend that one. I don't know how long it's going to be on Festival Scope for, but you can watch that shit for free. Jump on it.
That? Nice. Festivalscope.com. Check it out. Speaking of Festival Scope, I saw one on that site. I don't think this is free, but it's called Seoul Station. This is also directed by Yeon Sang-ho.
Okay.
This is another animated movie. This one's a zombie movie, actually, about this this girl who she's in some financial trouble, her and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend decides to try to pimp her out without telling her. So he makes this online profile basically selling her. He takes a picture of her when she's sleeping and he tries to get men to have sex with her, and she freaks. She gets really mad. So
that makes sense.
Right, understandably so. So they get in a big blowout argument. She walks away, and she's just kind of wandering around the streets of Seoul at nighttime around this train station. And what happens is they show a homeless man who has a bite, and he turns into a zombie. And then from that point, it basically turns into your pretty straightforward zombie movie. It jumps back and forth between the girl and the boyfriend and the girl's father they're trying to survive, but also the boyfriend is trying to meet up with the girl so that they can all stay safe. This is another really pretty depressing, dark movie that does not end. It does not have a happy ending. It's pretty messed up what happens in this movie. There's an interesting twist that happens in the finale, and unfortunately that twist makes everything kind of just turn to shit. And it was okay. The animation style is the same. It's the same style where it's 2D and it looks like it's hand drawn, but I don't think it is hand drawn. And there's some creepy stuff in it. There's this really creepy scene towards the end with one of the infected when her teeth are chattering. She's got this chattering teeth thing, and it's pretty creepy. The zombies are the fast moving zombies, but also this is, I believe, kind of a statement on how the government treats its citizens in Seoul. It has a lot to do with the homeless population and them not being taken care of and looked after, and how the government treats its citizens. So I think that there's also kind of a political message to this movie as well, like The Fake. But it was mildly entertaining. I don't know what the release date of this is, if it's going to end up coming out here in the States or not. So stay tuned for that one if you're looking for a decent animated zombie movie that is pretty dark and and depressing. Seoul Station might be your ticket.
A lot of dark stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the last movie I saw. Honestly, it wasn't a very good week for me.
Okay, this is the last one that I saw, also on Fandor, by way of the Criterion Collection, is William Klein's Mr. Freedom from 1969. This definitely has a political message, because Mr. Freedom is a ridiculous American superhero. He's so pro-America. The American right, and he's so ridiculous. And he's just the type of superhero that's he just thinks America is the best. America's always right, no matter what. And I can't understand what his superhero is. I don't know if it's just because I wasn't around during that time, so I'm maybe kind of a little fuzzy on the context, how things were during the 60s and stuff. But there's one scene where he just smashes in through the window of this black family, and his costume it's ridiculous. It's like football pads mixed with a catcher's outfit, baseball, the chest padding, and the shins and everything. And he's all red, white, and blue, and he wears ridiculous helmets and stuff. So, and he has I think he has kind of boxing gloves. And he just busts in on these guys, and he's just holding two guns. I don't know how he fires the guns, because the gloves are obviously entirely too big to be able to hold a gun. and make it work. But I guess that's one of his superpowers, to overcome those gloves. And he just starts like wrecking shit, and everything he does is just like giving speeches about how awesome America is. And then he just shoots a couple people and then leaves. And I'm not 100% sure like what he was doing. I don't know what he was fighting at that point in time. But I guess it was just like him popping in to give a reminder that America is awesome. And so there's this whole thing where he has to go. There's this whole like organization of, each country has like their own like superhero, I guess. So he has to go to France to help out France, because France is a bunch of fucking nobodies that can't do shit. They always need America to help them out, is what the movie tries to say. And so the French equivalent gets killed, so Mr. Freedom's got to go over there and take care of business. And he's fighting the Russian guy, which is Mujik Man, and he's fighting, I forget what the Chinese, when that supervillain finally shows up, here it's like a giant inflatable, like, I don't even know what it is. It's like some sort of thing with eyes and like sharp teeth, and it looks like it shoots cocaine out of its nostrils. And it's just like, this movie is so fucking ridiculous. It's just off the wall crazy. It's just so, but the amount of like work that they actually put into like the props and the costumes and stuff is like, you're definitely entertained. You will not, it's impossible not to be entertained watching this. I mean, it's not that great of a movie, but at the same time, you're gonna be fucking entertained. Like, this is just ridiculous. It's such a ridiculous movie.
Yeah, I feel like I need to check this one out.
He's far more interesting than Captain America. I mean, they need to fucking reboot Mr. Freedom. They need to bring him back.
That'd be funny. They should.
Because some of the stuff that they talk about in this movie is like, well, it's kind of timely.
Seems like it, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and talk about some predictions.
Let's do it.
Last week, Central Intelligence, you said 50, I said 48. Actual 66 on that one. Finding Dory. Oh, we do have a review for Central Intelligence up on the site. Blake reviewed that. He gave it a 5 out of 10, so he wasn't that into it. Finding Dory, you said 70. I said 76. Actual 95.
Damn.
On Finding Dory. Pixar does it again. I think it's killing it at the box office, too.
Oh, sure it is.
I just have no interest in that. The animation looks really good, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't. I've never had an interest in seeing Finding Nemo either. I still have not seen that.
It's. I didn't really like it, honestly.
Yeah.
Just wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Well, we're not gonna rectify that situation anytime soon.
Yeah. Next week, Independence Day Resurgence. All right. What are you thinking on this thing?
I'm just gonna throw out it's, oh man, I don't know. 54.
I'll say 42 on that. Nothing about that looks appealing to me. I feel like it just wasn't a movie that was necessary. And if they were going to make a sequel, I feel like they should have done it closer to when the original one came out, not 20 years later. But yeah. What do I know? We also have the Free State of Jones. This is the one with Matthew McConaughey. What
now?
Free State of Jones.
Hey, you remember when he was having that thing? What did they call that thing?
The McConaissance or whatever?
Yeah. You remember when that was happening? Because that shit's over now.
I don't know, man. This one looks like it could be... This one looks like it could be interesting. It's a Civil War film.
What the hell is this called again?
Free State of Jones.
Free State of Jones.
It's not a great title, but I think the movie itself could be interesting.
I'm gonna say, wait, is it my turn or your turn?
It's my turn. I will say 61 on that.
Okay. I'm gonna say 52.
All right. It's directed by Gary Ross.
Who dat?
He did the first Hunger Games movie. He did Seabiscuit. He did Pleasantville.
Oh boy. Pleasantville. I'll never look at that movie the same.
Yeah. Check out the Kentucky Oddly video essay on Pleasantville. It's a hoot.
It's remarkable.
And I love the fact that he insists that Ron Howard directs it. What else do we got here? The Shallows.
Oh boy.
This is the old Blake Lively shark movie. Shark action. Ring in the summer with some sharks.
Yeah,
I don't know. This one doesn't appeal to me.
I'd say 62.
I'll say 58 on that one. I believe that's it for the wide release stuff. In limited release, we have Swiss Army Man with Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe. I'll be checking this one out. I'm interested in that. Looks really quirky. Looks like a quirky one.
Yeah, I would say.
We also have Nuts. This is the documentary about...
I like how we go. The things that are coming out is the farting corpse movie.
Yeah.
And then the Nuts documentary.
The guy about the guy who implanted goat testicles into people to cure impotence. Neon Demon. New Nicholas
watch out.
Winding Refn.
That bitch I wonder if it's got neon in it.
Probably. It looks like it has a lot of color in it. A lot of color in that one. What do you think about Neon Demon? Are you interested?
I'll check it out. I don't know. I didn't hear good things.
I've been seeing kind of mixed things. So I don't know what to think about it. I'll check it out. Why the hell not?
Got nothing else to do.
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yes.
New Taika Waititi.
Yes.
Looks excellent. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about it, and I'm sure that it's going to be incredible, like all of his other movies. Wiener Dog, new Todd Solondz movie.
Good.
What's her name? Dawn Wiener? That's his character, the character that he uses in all his movies? Greta Gerwig plays Dawn Wiener in this one. I heard that this one's also really good, so I'll be checking that one out. I always want to like his movies, but sometimes they miss the mark for me. The Duel. This is another Western.
Get them Westerns.
Okay, another Western. This one looks okay. It's with Woody Harrelson and Liam Hemsworth. Looks like it could be all right. Breaking a Monster. This is a documentary about they're a heavy metal band, but they're like 14-year-old African American kids. And they're in this popular heavy metal band. Yeah, I'll probably check that one out. Just see what's going on there. Intruder. I think that's it. Something called Yarn. I could only assume that it's a documentary about yarn.
Oh my god, I'm looking it up. I have to. Please be that. No, somehow I clicked on Finding Dory. How'd that even happen?
It says here, meet the artists who are redefining the tradition of knit and crochet, bringing yarn out of the house and into the world. Oh, it's those artists that like knit. They like knit over top of things, like.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about, like.
Yeah. The crochet over
fire
stuff.
hydrants and things like that.
That stuff's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is kind of cool, but I'm not interested in a documentary about it.
Oh, you were so interested. You gotta check it out.
Oh yeah, I already requested the script.
I hope it's just nothing but them just
sitting there crocheting
in real time. Just them doing a fire hydrant.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. VOD next week. Let's see. This is for Friday the 24th. We got The Duel. We got Intruder, Vigilante Diaries, and The Laughing Mask. I'll be checking out The Duel and possibly Intruder as well. Vigilante Diaries is an action movie with, I think it's with Jason Mewes. Yeah.
No,
Jason Mewes is in it. Not sure what to think about that one. It looks pretty bad, honestly, but it might be fun. And The Laughing Mask, I have no idea what that is.
I found it says 2014. I don't know if it's this. It looks awful.
The Laughing Mask?
Yeah, it looks terrible.
It's a horror movie that looks like a super, super low budget horror movie.
Is it the one that says, if you're guilty, beware?
Maybe. I don't see that. I don't see that on here in the synopsis, but it looks bad. Let's see. Next week on Blu-ray, this is for Tuesday, the 21st of June. We have The Wave, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, The Brothers Grimsby. These are all movies that I have no interest in at all. Embrace of the Serpent. That one's probably worth a look. I'm interested in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight Special. That one is worth a look. That one's quite good. So check out Midnight Special. Let's see, what else do we have here? Johnny English Reborn. We have Chef. Those are re-releases, I think. The Crush is getting a Blu-ray release. The 1993 classic with Alicia Silverstone.
Oh, yeah?
Movie called Roller Coaster from 1977.
Okay.
Not sure what that's all about.
Is it a documentary about roller coasters?
Doesn't look like it, but maybe. Who knows?
Darn it.
An Arrow Video is putting out Nikatsu Diamond Guys, Volume 2. Tokyo Mighty Guy, Danger Paul's Murder Unincorporated.
Oh, shit. That's fucking serious.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that series, but I'm kind of interested.
Okay, so I had to look up Roller Coaster from 1977. This is directed by James Goldstone. It's about a blackmailer who's threatening to sabotage roller coasters at various American amusement parks if he isn't paid a huge ransom.
Whoa.
That sounds fucking amazing.
I might have to watch that.
That sounds so awesome. Are you kidding me?
Might have to give that a look, actually.
Holy shit, it's got George Segal in there. Henry Fonda.
Early
Helen Hunt, apparently.
Must be really early Helen Hunt.
Yeah, damn.
Interesting. Knight of Cups and Anesthesia also come out. What do we have on the Criterion front?
We have one, and that is the animated film from 1973, Fantastic Planet, which I've been wanting to see this one for ages. And I don't know why I never have.
I don't know.
Just don't know. I'll rectify that situation.
All right, I think that is going to do it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet and @FilmPulseKevin. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse, and consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw, my name's Adam Patterson, and we'll see you next week.